Hey guys, I have not recorded anything so far, which you already know that because you haven't seen anything else, and this is my intro. What am I doing? I don't know. Julie Marie left a couple of hours ago. Jeff is home. He's outside working in the garden, and Noah is washing his car. So I'm about to make something that I wanted to make for my Mother's Day treat. And yes, I am making my Mother's Day treat, even though it is not Mother's Day anymore. I'm making it today, but I'm going to be making it different than what the recipe says because I'm going to half it. So this is a recipe that I got from my sister 30 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. I don't know. I've had it a very long time. I have not made it in years, but it was one of the things that I would always, like, if she asked me what kind of cake I wanted for my birthday, I would say blueberry cheesecake. It is the first type of cheesecake I ever tasted in my life, and it is the only cheesecake that I actually like the fruit on. I don't like fruit on my cheesecake otherwise. So, unless you consider a pumpkin cheesecake, but that's a little bit different because it's not on top and it's different, and it's, yeah, anyway, it's more like a pie. But this does have a different type of crust than your traditional cheesecake as well. I am going to give you the recipe, but I'll be putting in half the amount of what I say. So whenever you see me doing it, you're going to see me putting half, whereas I'm supposed to put in 2 sticks of butter. I'll just be putting in 1, that kind of thing. Her recipe does not specify what type of flour. I'm pretty sure she used all-purpose, so that's what I'm using. And also, it does not specify the temperature that you need to bake the crust at. I'm using 350 because I believe that's what she always used. So I'm going to get started because I have to cook the crust, and then I have to let that completely cool, and then I have to do the topping. So let's get this started. It is so little ingredients. There's only 7 ingredients. That's it, 7 ingredients. No eggs, no baking of the actual cheesecake part. The only part you're baking is the crust. So let me get the camera put down here and get started. Okay, so my only real issue with this whole situation is I may not get to share what it turns out like until tomorrow, or else what it tastes like, which actually I already know I like this. It's delicious. It's one of my favorites, so I don't have to do a taste test to show you what it looks like. So you'll see it, the end product. It just has to refrigerate overnight, so I don't get to have it until tomorrow, possibly tonight if I want it to not be set perfectly. But it may be okay in a couple hours after it gets in the refrigerator. I don't know. But first I've got to open my flour. Should have done this off camera because this thing is kind of hard to open. Alright, so you need 2 cups of flour. And like I said, I'm using all-purpose. And I'm also halving it, so you're not going to see 2 cups. And I just did something I shouldn't have done. I should have went ahead and creamed the butter first, but I didn't. I don't know if it'll make a difference or not. I got flour on. Why do I wear black when I'm doing something like this? 2 sticks of butter. This is salted because it was the one I had that wasn't frozen. Ooh, that was dumb. I'm gonna kind of butter my dish with that in a moment. And I'll go ahead and get this kind of mixed. Oh, that may not be soft enough, and I may end up taking a few minutes and getting off camera. You know what I'm saying. But I don't have to share like me trying this though, because I already know I like it. It's not a new recipe. I've been eating this for 30 something years. My sister Gladys this is where I got the recipe. It's her handwriting here on this page. She gave it to me years ago, and it's just my favorite cheesecake other than traditional cheesecake. Yeah, I should have creamed the butter some. Maybe I'll get the pastry cutter out, or I'll just be back. Okay, so I did go in with my hand some, and I finished it up with the mixer. So now you put in, oh, I may need to chop these up some more. I don't know. You're supposed to have a cup of pecans, and of course, like I said, I'm using half the amount. These are chopped enough, I guess. They'll be alright. They'll be fine. And you know, there's just a little bit left in that bag. I'm just going to put the rest of them in there. It's fine. Then you just mix this together. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing much of anything here, but I am. It's helping me, I promise. Alright, so now, since I've got all that done, I'm going to, it doesn't say to butter your pan, but since I have this, I'm going to, just because it's already here, why not? Then you just press it into the bottom of your pan. You press this whole thing and make sure you get your pecans all over, and you just press it down in there. And I'm hoping that this pan will be sufficient. I don't know if it will or not, but I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 or on 350 for, I'm probably going to do 20 minutes and check it. I don't remember how long it usually takes, but you need to get this a light brown, and then you take it out and you let it cool completely. But you pack it in real good, and it looks like this. So I'm gonna put it in the oven and let it start cooking. Put me a 20-minute timer on. I may have to let it go a little bit longer, I don't know yet. But while that's doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and wash this because I'm going to need part of these things again. I won't need it all. Well, yes I will. I'll need this too. So I'll be back. Okay, so this is 35 minutes later, and it started to brown some. Well, it's browned some, and it's smelling really good, and it looks like it's supposed to look. So at least I hope it does. So anyway, I'm gonna let it cool, and then I'm gonna make the topping part, and then we're gonna stick it in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna enjoy it later. But I can't do any more of anything until this cools down some. So what I'm probably going to do is let it cool some on the counter, and then maybe stick it in the refrigerator. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do. We'll see. But I don't want to stick this straight in the refrigerator or something whenever it's piping hot. But I do want to get it finished. Okay guys, while that crust is cooling, I'm going to get started on, well, we've already got started on supper. We're marinating the steak the same way we always do. Just some Worcestershire sauce, steak seasoning, and some Dale's. And that's all we put on there. And these I had soaked last night. I'm going to drain them, and then I'm going to put them in my pot. I don't know if you can like keep the water or not, because I rinsed them before I ever put them in here. But anyway, maybe I need to look into that. But I did soak them overnight, like I said I was going to do. So I'll be right back. Okay, so Jeff's getting some of the dishes off the dish strainer, but I went ahead and rinsed these again after I drained them. I'm gonna move this bowl. And now I'm gonna start putting in the things that I normally put into my peas. I also do pinto beans this way. So this is that garlic and herb seasoning, and I'll measure it this time just because I'm doing it with y'all, and I normally don't measure it. I usually just eyeball it, but since I am doing it with y'all, I'm gonna measure. So I'm going to put 1 or 2 tablespoons of this, probably just 1. This is a pound of black-eyed peas. And since I did soak them, maybe I'll just put 1.5 because we like good seasoning. This is no salt in this at all. So you don't have to worry about any salt extra. This is just herbs. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying, but we like a good amount of seasoning in our black-eyed peas. In our peas, period. Any of our peas. So we got that. And then I want a 1/2 tablespoon of salt because we do need some salt. But don't want too much. And then a 1/2 tablespoon to a whole tablespoon if you want it of black pepper, which I'm just going to do a 1/2. And I need to get a knife. Is there one in here, Jeffrey? One that will work. I'm closing my arm into the thing. That's the way you do it. Okay, so that's the only seasonings that we're going to put in here that's like that type of thing. Now I'm going to take this bell pepper that is still partially frozen, and I'm going to cut it up and put in there. And I don't have any certain way I'm going to cut it up other than I see a spot on it that I don't want. It seems, well, it wouldn't have mattered if it was there. But I'm going to cut this up, not too tiny, but not too big either. Like, what size is that, Jeffrey? What would you say that size is?
1/2 inch.
1/2 inch? Okay. About like that. And this is a little bit more than half of a bell pepper, but it was a pretty large bell pepper too, so it's one of those that was in the refrigerator and I froze it because I didn't want it to go bad. Which usually whenever I find bell peppers for a decent price, I will go ahead and buy up some and freeze them, which I haven't found a lot. Remember when I used to get them 4 for $1? Right, Jeffrey?
Now there's one for $4.
Now there's one for $4. Anyway. Now my mama never put anything but salt, pepper, and I think bacon or ham hock or something like that in it. She didn't ever put all these other things that I do. Now she ate the peas with onion, but she didn't put onion in it. And what I have here is probably about the equivalent of a small onion, and it's some of those that Jeff and I had cut up and frozen. I'm going to put that in there. What you said, that's about the size of a small onion? What did you see me take it out? Oh, well, probably about the size of a small onion.
Go ahead.
What? Yeah, I usually turn around the other way, but it doesn't matter. And this right here is bacon left over from yesterday morning for my Mother's Day meal, because Jeff fixed me bacon and pancakes and strawberries for breakfast. So this is the leftover of it, and I'm just going to throw that in there. I'm just going to coarsely chop it and throw it in. I might need to get some more out of the refrigerator. That's some of that's we get from Sam's, which we've decided we're not going to buy anymore because it's very expensive. I would normally use like a broth or stock or something like that. You can just use water, but since I don't have a broth or stock because I quit buying those things, I'm going to use some of this chicken bouillon paste or base. I'm going to use, it'll end up being about 2 tablespoons, but what you're supposed to have is 1 tablespoon per cup to make a cup of, I think it's a tablespoon. Let me look. No, it's a teaspoon per cup. But I'm putting like, it's like a little over 1. It's closer to 2 though. I'm trying to get it off there. I gotta get one of my little spatulas. And then I'm going to put in like 6 to 8 cups of water. I do have this recipe on my blog for pinto beans, and you can use it for this, for black eyed peas too. You can just pretty much any bean you want to, I guess. Alright, so here's 4 cups of water. We'll pour that in. I'm going to get some more and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's 4 more cups, but I'm just going to put half of that in and just look at it real quick. Well, that's a little bit more than half. And decide if I need more. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put all 8 cups in there. And some of these peas, not bees, these peas, I keep trying to say beans, we're going to be using for tomorrow night's supper too, because I'm making Hop and John soup because Noah requested it. Which reminds me, I need to take a roll of sausage out of the freezer. So I got to do that now. But since I did soak these last night, I'm not going to have them cook as long as I normally would in the Instant Pot. I normally would let them cook for 40 to 45 minutes. Well, that's a pinto bean. For these would probably be about 30 minutes. But I'm going to just try to cook them for 20 minutes and then see what happens. Oh, thank you. I wasn't saying that for you to do it. But I think maybe, do you think we should move these to the other one? To the other counter? Alright, we're going to move this to the other counter. We don't have it plugged up yet. We're going to move it over there because we're fixing to be cooking French fries and stuff over here. So I'm going to do it for 20 minutes and then I'm going to do a quick release and check them. And I don't want them to be mush. So we're going to see if 20 minutes is enough for soaked beans. And if it is, I will let you know. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do my cornbread. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to this time because I don't want to get another bowl out. I'm going to go ahead and crack my egg in here. Because I always like to crack my egg in something separate. But I'm going to just go ahead and do that. So I need 1 egg. I do have a recipe for fried cornbread that's almost just like this on my blog too. So my blog is always linked in my link tree. Can you go figure out why I'm going to make her stop whining? I know why she's whining. If the wrong person heard that dog, they would think she was being tortured. But I guess she is, because she wants in the bathroom where Noah's taking a shower. she wants him. He just bathed the dogs. And, his car. He bathed his car. And so, anyway, she wants in the bathroom with him. I'm not going to be able to use this. It's too big. So I'm going to put it back over here. I'll use it for a different thing later. Alright, so I'm going to put in here. Nope, that is not what I want. I opened the wrong one. I want to put 2 cups of cornmeal mix in here with this egg. And if I get a little bit more than that's fine. That's not a big deal. Can you make sure close that up, because it won't do right if like it's crazy. Then 1 cup of self-rising flour.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm through with that. I'm through with the flour too now. Then I'm going to put a 1/2 cup of oil. Whatever oil you want to use. I'm using avocado. I have used olive oil, but the olive oil I have right now is that really like it's tastes a lot like olive because it's not as refined, I guess is what it is. Is that it, Jeff? I don't know what it's called. I don't know. I need a teaspoon. Will you give me a teaspoon? Because I forgot to get that. Yeah, that's it. Alright, I want to put a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and about a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Not everybody puts pepper in their cornbread, but I tried it and I don't know, do we like it better, Jeffrey?
Yep.
He likes anything with pepper in it. Alright, so now I'm going to put a cup of buttermilk, and we may have to put more buttermilk, but we'll see. Don't know yet. And I do have butter over here. I'm going to take a half of a stick. This is unsalted, and we're going to put it in the pan that's heating up in the stove or oven, whatever you want to call it. It's getting hot in there because I want it to get really hot so that whenever I pour this in there, it starts sizzling. Will you take this? Alright, I'm just going to mix this together, and we'll see if I need more buttermilk. I shouldn't, but I may. And if I do, that's fine. I can add more. Or maybe it's a cup and a half I normally put. Yeah, I do need more. Do I normally put a cup and a half, Jeffrey? You don't know. Jeff's aunt taught me years ago to heat up your pan and put butter in it right before you're gonna pour your batter in, and then put it right back in the oven, and it just makes the cornbread it's better. It like browns it more. And buttermilk's better with, well, yeah, buttermilk's better with cornbread because I don't like buttermilk by itself, but cornbread's better with buttermilk. That's what I meant to say. And I'm also going to put in those biscuits that I had the other day that I froze. Yeah, that's where I want it. Alright, so that's ready to go into the oven. As soon as it gets preheated to 400, I'm going to get the pan out, and I'll show you all that part, but I'm going to get me a little pad to put here. Okay, so I think they can see this. Here's my pan. It should be hot enough. I'm not going to touch it to find out. We'll find out in just a second. I have a little bit of butter. Yeah, that's the way I want it. I want to get this butter kind of melted. And if it's not all melted, it doesn't matter. But I want to get it in there. And then I'm going to put that's still a little bit frozen. I need some of that butter for the biscuit pan too. Now I'm going to put this in here. I need to get it moved around some more. I might stick it back in the oven. I don't know if it's going to be hot enough because that butter was partially frozen. It'll still taste good, but it may not have that crispiness. Alright, I'm just going to put it in there. We'll just go with it tonight. Just put this in the pan. It smells good already. Don't you think, Jeffrey? What do you want? The bowl? I need to wash that bowl because I'm about to use it again. Alright, so I'm just going to spread it around a little bit. And then I'm going to stick it right back in the oven, that hot oven, so that it can bake up. Don't back up. And it's going to bake for like 20 something minutes, something like that. Maybe closer to 30. Here's the biscuits that I had done the other day. And this pan, we haven't oiled it yet because we were going to put some butter on it. And Jeff just washed it. So, and it's not hot. So I'm just going to put butter all over the bottom of the pan. Then I'm going to put the biscuits in there. And I was told, which I'm pretty sure it's true, because the person told me this, has not steered me wrong yet, that your biscuits will rise more and be fluffier in a cast iron skillet. And my granny always used cast iron. So, I don't know why I don't. Jeffrey, do you know why? I haven't been using cast iron to do this. I don't either. Alright. I'm just going to let that hang out. And I've got 7 biscuits here and I want to cook them all. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, how I'm going to be able to get them in here. We'll see. I may just put them all around the edge and not have one in the middle. No, I'm going to have to have one in the middle. That's perfect. They might have needed a smaller pan. But anyway, we're going to stick those in there too for probably 12 minutes and I'll check them. They may have to take a little bit longer because they are, that one's upside down. They are a little bit bigger. Will you open that? Alright. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of this and we'll be back when I'm doing something, but I don't know what yet. I don't know if it's going to be with showing y'all supper or if it's going to be, well, it'll be probably showing y'all the breads. Okay, so the crust is cool enough that I can go ahead and do the next part for this. So remember, I am doing half a recipe, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the wrong side. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get this going. I'm going to go ahead and whip the cream cheese up a little bit. It's supposed to be a whole block, an 8-ounce block. I don't think I have 4 ounces here. I'm not sure. But we're going to let it go and be what it is. And you're supposed to use a large thing of Cool Whip. This is the regular size, which would be a 16 ounces large. Can you get that off there? Wait a minute, there's a little, hey, that wasn't ever there before. I got more garbage right here. Anyway, I've had this in the freezer, so I took it out so that I could make this today. So hopefully it's completely thawed. If it's not, oh, it is. I was going to say if it's not, we're just going to have to do it anyway. Jeffrey, since I'm making this for me, would you want me to make you a lemon pie? Okay. Do you want any kind of snack for this week? Why don't you look in the dessert thing and we can figure it out. Okay, so the cream cheese, the Cool Whip, and I'm gonna grab the confectioner sugar and I'll be right back. Okay, so I looked this up earlier today so I could get it right. It says to use a box of confectioner sugar. A box is 16 ounces. 16 ounces is 3.5 cups of confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, icing sugar, whatever you want to call it. So, it's 3.5 cups. Remember, I'm halving this, so I'm going to put in 1 3/4 cups. That's right, right? Is that half of 3.5? 1 3/4? Yeah, okay. So I did do it right. So I'm just going to put 1 3/4 cups of the sugar in, and hopefully it'll turn out right, because I'm not using a box and I'm using only half the amount. So there's 1.5. I need 1/4 more of a cup. I think it'll turn out alright. And then you turn your mixer on super fast so it flies all over Jeffrey. Not really. So you start slowly and you just mix this together. Once you get this mixed together, you're gonna layer it over the top of your crust. What surprised me is there is no vanilla or anything like that in this, but there's not. I hope it tastes right without the, I don't know if I put enough of the cream cheese in here. If I'm gonna taste it, and if it doesn't taste right, I'll put some more cream cheese in. We get it mixed together real good. sugar up. Okay, so get that all down in there. I need a taster. Good grief, can you not? I think it'll be okay without the other cream cheese, but I think it might be better with the whole 4 ounces. But I don't know if it's going to mix well because it's not been sitting out at all. I had like maybe 3 ounces. I'm going to go ahead and put some more in. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm almost done with this. All right, I put the other like ounce in here. I got plenty of cream cheese. It's not like it's not like I needed to be careful with how much I used or whatever, or like I didn't have enough or something. So let me get another spoon. Get this little one. That's better. Yeah. I'm glad I went ahead and did that. I do need to mix it a little bit more. It's got a few lumps. Now I might want to lick those beaters. Okay. So here's my knife that I used to cut the cream cheese. Gotta get it all off there. All I can anyways. Here's the crust. If there's a couple lumps in there, it's fine. No, it just made a weird noise. Alright, and then you put this on the top of that. And you could, I'm pretty sure, put any kind of pie filling on top that you wanted to put. But we're doing the blueberry because that's my favorite. And I was supposed to make this a long time back and never did it. See if Noah wants to lick the bowl too. He loves cheesecake, but so do I. Alright, we'll spread this out. Jeff's not a huge fan of cheesecake. Got this in the way. Y'all may not even be able to see what I was doing. Oh, timer's up for the biscuits. I need to see if they're ready. We can lick that off too. Nope. I'm gonna give them another 10 minutes at least. I don't know why I was thinking 12 minutes would be enough. That's ridiculous. Okay, so normally you would put a whole can of blueberry pie filling topping on here, but of course, as I've said several times, we're not doing that because we're doing half a thing, half a recipe. Alright, you just be careful whenever you're doing this part because you don't want to, I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't taste bad if you let it get down into the cheesecake, but you just kind of want to spread it over the top. And if it doesn't go all over, that's fine. Just do as good as you can. I should have gotten all I needed out of here before I got started. Well, I'll spread with this one. I probably should have let this set up some before I spread it too. But this looks kind of neat. I don't care if it looks kind of funny. I'm gonna eat it anyway. I could have probably have mixed the blueberries inside of the cream cheese part and it would have been fine with me. And what I'm gonna do with the rest of these that are gonna be here is I'm gonna put them into a Ziploc freezer bag and I'm going to freeze those so that we don't waste any of that delicious pie filling. And whenever I want another one of these, all I gotta do is take them out and thaw them, and hopefully that will work out. We'll just say it's marbled. How about that? I probably should have let it set before I put these on though. That's what I should have done, but that's all right. But it's okay. So now what you do, you let it sit, or you cover it and let it sit in the freezer. No, the refrigerator, and then you cut it and enjoy it. But I'm gonna clean up my mess and be back at some point. Okay, so 20 minutes was the perfect amount of time to cook those whenever they have been soaked. I probably could have went 15 minutes because we don't want them mushy, but I'll show them to you whenever we get everything on the table. Jeff is doing the fries. I'm fixing to check the bread again. So far it's been about 30 minutes for the bread. You think? Probably something like that, so I don't know. I never time things like this. I use my nose whenever it comes to something that I've cooked forever. But anyway, which I haven't cooked those biscuits forever, but I haven't cooked them from frozen but once, and they were a flop from the beginning because they were too thin. But these are getting fluffy. They're nice. But anyway, whenever we do show you the peas, you got to remember, I put extra of the broth, stock, whatever you want to call it, in there because we're using it for Hoppin' John soup tomorrow too. So I'm giving myself a head start. We're gonna have a serving however much we want tonight, and then the rest of it will go for the other. So we'll be back whenever all the food is done, and I'll show you the biscuits too. And we're also cooking sausage on the grill for his breakfast. Tell him what all you did in the garden.
I hold it. Let's see.
Speak louder.
I hold it and steak tomatoes up.
Okay, he held it and staked the tomatoes up. Has anything else stolen any more of our tomatoes? I'm planning on going out there and show you those tomorrow. That's my plan, to go out there if it's not raining. Man, my hair's done gone wild. Oh well. I had a baby playing in it earlier. But we'll be back when the food's done. Okay, so here's the cornbread, and we are going to flip it out onto a plate. I'll do that in a little bit. And there are the biscuits. They look so nice. That one pushed over into that one. It was like, move over, man. But they're all touching now, and they weren't whenever I put them in there. So they did rise up good. But yeah, they smell delicious. And that's for Jeff for work, and then there's going to be a couple of extra for Noah to have if he wants them. But like I said, we're going to flip this out onto a plate, and you'll see the bottom side at the table. Okay, so here is the fries, and then the steak. And Jeff did make some sausage for tonight, but then the rest of it is for tomorrow. Or no, not tomorrow, but for his breakfast. There's the cornbread, we got to cut it. And here are the black-eyed peas. And they are just yummy because we did test them to make sure they were good. So that's our supper for tonight. Okay, before Jeff fixes his work bowls, because he's going to have enough for two, I'll show y'all what we have left over. We didn't even touch the sausage. Still got a whole steak there. There's still steak on Noah's. Still got over half the cornbread and a bunch of the peas. Like I said, this was on purpose. and we got a few fries. So, reason why I'm showing y'all this is because I wanted y'all to see why we cook so much. Because he can take food from home and have it at work, and that way we save money. Plus, he doesn't have much time to go anywhere. Right, Jeffrey? He doesn't have any time. And that way he doesn't have to eat a cold sandwich. But he does love a bologna sandwich sometimes. So, anyways. This is just, I just wanted to show y'all that. We do have a lot of leftovers most nights. Okay, so I had said that I was going to do folding the clothes with y'all today, but I'm not going to be. Because I don't feel like it. Plus, Noah threw some more clothes in the washer. So I'm just going to wait and do that tomorrow. I'm planning on showing you the garden and folding clothes tomorrow. And also showing you supper. The peas that I had made tonight, I told you guys will be part of supper tomorrow night. So I'll show y'all how I do the Hoppin' John soup. I have done that before on here, but I'm going to show you again. I don't eat it myself. I mean, I will if I have to, but I don't prefer it, so I don't usually. So I'll eat something else, and the boys will eat that. So I'm making that tomorrow. Like I said, Noah put a load of his clothes in the washer. He unloaded the dishwasher and started loading it back up, and then I started loading it too, and it ended up being me finishing it while he was doing his clothes. And then Jeff was actually fixing his work bowls while we were doing that. So the kitchen's cleaned up except one pan. Jeff, did you wash that pan? Oh, never mind. Jeff washed the pan. I was gonna say there was one pan that was left. I took out part of the garbage today, and Jeff is doing the rest of it right now. And Noah, I guess, is gonna be doing that too. I don't know right now. But what I really want to do now is go shower and get comfy and just like maybe read a book or catch up on some more of the YouTube that I have not been watching this weekend, because Saturday and Sunday I barely watched any at all, and I've caught up on almost everybody so far. But I haven't caught up completely. I don't watch a lot of channels. Like, some of the channels don't put out the videos very often, like once a week, so I can easily catch up on that. So anyways, and they're shorter too, but it's more like the longer form videos, like the ones like I do, that I'm catching up on now, because I've caught up on everybody else mostly. And a lot of times I watch on the TV with my Roku, so I don't comment all the time. You guys know that if you watch me. I've said it before. And if you have a channel, you know, if you do have a channel and I don't know about it, let me know down in the comments, because I'll be glad to go check you out. But yeah, I'm not doing anything else tonight. I had fun with Julie Marie this morning. I had her till this afternoon, later on in the afternoon. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to eat any of the blueberry cheesecake tonight, so it doesn't matter if it's not going to be ready until tomorrow, because that supper was delicious. We've never done steak with like peas and cornbread and all that stuff before, but we will be from now on. For some reason, we're in this rut that, and we've been in it for years, where we eat certain meats with certain things, or certain meats cooked certain ways with certain things, and we don't veer away from that unless it's a totally new recipe. But I'm trying to get out of that, and I'm so glad we did tonight, because that was a delicious, that was one of the best meals I have had in a very long time. And nobody was left hungry. Jeff has 2 meals for work, plus he has his breakfast for the rest of the week already ready, and we've got part of supper done for tomorrow night, because we have half the cornbread left and the peas. So yeah, makes me happy. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys for today. I do hope you enjoyed it. I will be trying to go ahead and type up that blueberry cheesecake recipe and put it on my blog, and that way you guys can get that. I'll try to remember to do that before this video goes out, and I'll link it. If I don't, please remind me nicely, and I will do it. because I'm sure Gladys wouldn't care. She shared that with me so many years ago, and she doesn't mind sharing recipes. She's that type of person. She's like me. She doesn't mind sharing. Recipes are made to share with friends and family and loved ones, and you know, it's just what they're made to do. Share the yummy. Why keep it all to yourself? That's not nice. That's rude. But anyway, yeah, I had a good day. It was a productive evening, afternoon, evening, even though I was mostly just cooking and things like that. And I did get all the clothes caught up now. I didn't know Noah had some more. I didn't know that, but that's all right too. We don't mind. So tomorrow we'll be folding clothes, and I'm gonna try to get out there in the morning and show y'all the garden before it gets too awful hot, because we've been having some warm weather. But I'm gonna get out there and show y'all the garden and give you a little update on that, and I don't know what else. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and do all the YouTube things. If you didn't, then do them anyway. You might like something to do later. Most importantly, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing, and remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.